What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Andrew Ryan with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The man accused of opening fire on a Taiwanese church congregation in California has been charged with first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. Police say the 68-year-old man, who was born in Taiwan, was driven by a hatred for Taiwanese people. The shooting has triggered a wave of condemnation and has led to questions about identity and politics, both here and in Taiwanese communities abroad. Rick Lowert reports.
A community mourns John Cheng, a Taiwanese-American doctor who was shot dead in an attack on a church in California.
Dr. Cheng was my husband's primary care doctor. He's seen me, he's seen my mother-in-law, he's seen our kids. And I just felt it was important to pay respects to him and to the folks in his practice who are grieving today.
On Sunday, a man opened fire on the members of the Irvine Taiwanese Presbyterian Church during a post-service luncheon, killing Cheng and injuring 5 others. The accused shooter, 68-year-old David Cho, has been charged with murder, attempted murder, and use of a destructive device. The state prosecutor is seeking the death penalty.
I think the intent in my mind was very clear, what was going to happen. And the explosive devices really scare me about what could have happened if the plan had been carried out as I think it was intended.
The motive flagged by US police is a hatred of Taiwanese, although Cho himself was born in Taiwan in the 1950s. The case has left Taiwan in shock.
我们正在密切地追踪本案最新的发展。我们透过各种的管道，随时跟我们的侨民来提供他们所需要的协助。同时呢，我们也促请美方要务必全力来保护我国侨民的安全。
The shooting and the motive behind it strike at the heart of Taiwan politics and identity. Neighbouring China insists Taiwan is part of its territory and has ramped up threats to take the country by force. Local news in Taiwan reports Cho was connected to groups pushing for unification between China and Taiwan. On Wednesday, a member of the independence-leaning ruling party, the Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, spoke out against rising political extremism.
我们希望所有的激进派分子真的不要拿别人的生命开玩笑。
Taiwan society is divided. The younger generations are increasingly identifying as Taiwanese rather than Chinese. But many people here still see Taiwan and China as one nation, particularly those who can trace their roots to the people who fled from China to Taiwan during the Chinese Civil War in the middle of the last century. Reports suggest Cho has this heritage. Zheng Zhengqian is a lawmaker with Taiwan's major opposition party, the Kuomintang, which still favors closer ties with China.
追究他后续的背景，我倒觉得其实不是最重要的事情哈。怎么样去弭平现在的一个伤口，可能更关键哈。
Independence and the relationship with China have long been an issue for Taiwanese communities abroad, made more difficult in the information age.
在海外的华人往往因为他们接收到的讯息更是单向化，所以说在这个统独的态度上面可能更为极化。那在这样极化的氛围之下难保不会有这种激进分子。
Dr. John Cheng's violent death has rocked a small immigrant community in the United States. But for Taiwanese at home and abroad, it's also brought out difficult questions about national identity. Karma Xu and Rick Lowert for TaiwanPlus.
The World Health Organization's decision-making body, the World Health Assembly, or WHA, may soon discuss whether to reinstate Taiwan as an observer. 13 diplomatic allies have backed a motion that would give Taiwan observer status at this year's meeting, which is due to begin on Sunday. Taiwan has not been invited to observe the Assembly's annual meeting since 2017 due to Chinese objections. The United States and the group of 7 leading industrialized nations are also calling for Taiwan's inclusion in the WHA. Taiwan has completed test flights for its newest military drone, which is called the Cloud Rider. The drone is being developed by the country's top weapons manufacturer and is being modified as details emerge from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Jaime Okan explains.
This is Taiwan's newest military drone. For the past 2 weeks, the country has been testing it off the southeastern coast of the island. it's expected to play a valuable role in monitoring the activity of the Chinese military, or PLA. The latest version of this drone, known as the Cloud Rider 2, is being developed by Taiwan's top weapons maker, the Zhongshan Institute. They are modifying the drones to accommodate weapon systems like the ones being used in Ukraine in its conflict.
未来有必要发展类似像美国的地狱火空对地飞弹，或者供无人机使用的空对地这种雷射或者 GPS 导引的精准大弹。
Taiwan has similar military hardware to Ukraine and is watching closely how the Eastern European country is using its weapons to fend off its much larger and more resourced neighbor, Russia. As these drones are expected to enter service soon, Taiwan hopes that this new technology will add to its overall defense capability. Damon Lin and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has adopted new rules to ease the strain COVID-19 is putting on hospitals. This comes as the number of new daily cases surpassed 85,000 on Wednesday. As of Tuesday, hospitals are only admitting 3 categories of COVID patients: infants under 3 months old, patients with moderate to severe symptoms, and patients whose doctors say they need to stay in hospital. Taiwan's Central Epidemic Command Center believes the current COVID wave will peak at over 100,000 daily cases in late May or early June. Taiwan's COVID-19 outbreak is causing problems in the workplace. One of Taiwan's largest industrial groups says there is a nationwide shortage of over 110,000 workers. Many employees are being forced to quarantine or isolate, while other workers are staying home to avoid catching COVID. The Chinese National Federation of Industries says the situation is especially bad in 2 industries: electronics manufacturing and precision machinery. There's good news for Taiwan's job market heading into the summer. The Ministry of Labor is expecting an increase in demand for workers. Consumer spending has taken a hit since the beginning of the year, with Taiwan facing its worst COVID outbreak since the pandemic began. And that's led to a lower demand for workers. But the Ministry of Labor says consumers are likely to head out and spend money again once the outbreak eases. The ministry is predicting that the demand for workers in Taiwan will grow by 87,000 people from April to July this year. That's the highest estimated growth since 2012. Taiwan is known for making a lot of high-quality chips. That's computer chips. But now an international fast food chain has announced a shortage of a different kind of chips. We're talking about French fries. McDonald's has yet to confirm how many of its Taiwan branches are stopping sales, but the company says it will gradually be adding them back to its menus on Friday. Another fast food chain, Subway, is also reportedly running low on items like bacon and pickles due to production and shipping issues. Taiwan's biggest annual music awards, the Golden Melodies, heated up on Wednesday with the announcement of this year's nominees. One of the top nominees is Singaporean singer Tanya Chua, who's up for 8 awards this year, including Best Female Singer in Mandarin. Another big nominee this year is Taiwanese singer Crowd Lu, who's up for 4 awards, including Best Male Singer in Mandarin. Both he and Chua have won the top singing awards in past years. The Golden Melody Awards are sometimes called Taiwan's version of the Grammys. They cover more than just Mando pop. Other categories include music performed in Taiwanese, Hokkien, Hakka, and indigenous music. And there's a separate event for traditional music. This year's awards, the 33rd annual event, will take place in the southern city of Kaohsiung on July 2nd. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. And finally today, we leave you with images of more than 1,800 famous movie items going up for auction in Hollywood. Things like the X-Wing model from Star Wars and the hammer used by Thor. I'm Andrew Ryan. Take care and see you next time.